all numbers jump up right here in the States.
I love an Australian accent, man.
Really?
British accents can die.
Australian is the southern accent of the English accent, so I don't think it's that.
No.
I mean, New Zealand's even further south.
You,
so
you give me a g'day, cunt. Like, that's... oof.
That's how I'm just going to open up every podcast.
Yeah.
Good eye, kind. All right, Vince, do you want to open up with your joke?
What was my joke?
Your RG3 one?
Oh. I was going to text you, like, I don't remember what it was.
I was. It's so funny. I was laying awake last night trying to remember what the joke was, hoping that if I told you what the joke was, that you would that there was a joke that you would remember.
Glad somebody did.
But I remember it last minute. So.
Good. So before I went to Ohio last week, was in the Omaha airport, and I was like 90% sure I saw RG3. Robert Griffin III.
Heisman winner trophy.
Yeah,
Robert
and
Griffin III.
was
Wow.
in Lincoln to announce the Wisconsin game against Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to go up and say, because I wasn't 100% sure, and I didn't want to go up. Oh, hey, RG3, man. I loved watching you play. Yeah, loved watching you play at Baylor, all that stuff, because I didn't. If I was wrong, I didn't want to come off as racist.
Is that an actual thing? All black people look the same? Is that?
I didn't.
idea
But I
there?
didn't. If it was a thing, I didn't want it to be a thing.
I didn't want to make.
I didn't want to make it a thing.
No, you should.
But then it turned
you
out-
should have just been like, "Hey, do you know RG3?"
But then you'd be like, "Well, we all know each
Is
other."
he your cousin?
But then like I saw like one of the clips of him eating a muchacho's burrito or whatever, and he was wearing the same.
He was
wearing the same
pimping
beanie.
him hard.
And I was
So
like,
you knew.
"Ah!"
I knew.
I should have done it.
You
man.
missed your shot.
I did, man. I could have invited him onto the podcast, dude. I missed so many.
Oh man, yeah. You did. Well,
Damn.
what would you say if you went up to approach RG3? What would you say to him?
Can I kiss you?
You're an amazing football player.
You're an amazing football player, man, and like one of the great college football players. Like I wish the pro career could have lasted longer, man. If that can
That
you
happens
introduce?
when you play.
Give me
at
the number of every
Washington.
offensive lineman you ever had. I have some words with them, but
Hey
Yeah.
man, I love you. You're an amazing football player. Do you want to come on my podcast?
Yeah.
It's like what my daughters do. Dad, I love you. Oh, I love you too. Can I go do this? Are you kidding me? I see what you're doing.
I'm a very friendly guy. People like
You are
me,
pretty suave.
and I think he would
You
have.
could have charmed RG3.
I think I could have.
Yeah, I mean, he gave Muchachos that bump next week, and they sold out of their pipeline burrito, which
Did they?
he was pimping hard, like he was eating it on air
Yeah,
during the Wisconsin game.
which
Well-
I've heard mixed signals about muchachos. I've never had.
I've heard all good things. I don't know.
I've heard it.
All I'm saying is we missed out on a podcasting opportunity because of you, Vince, because of your
Oh.
fear of being labeled as a racist by one random person in the airport.
Yeah, RG3.
That's fair.
I guess it would if I was wrong and then I was racist, then it wouldn't have been RG3. It would have been just some random guy.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So you should have.
Damn it, you're right.
You blew
I'm
it.
sorry.
That's okay.
Next time I see RG3.
RG3 in the airport, we're going straight for him without any reservations.
Yeah.
Speaking of college football, Vince, I think you have an apology that you need to make on behalf of the Garage Talk listeners. So here, let me get before you.
Whoa!
Before you intervene, let me give some backstory here. So last week, all listeners ever listen. Last week, Vince sent us in our group chat. He said, "Hey, my inside source," which Vince has come out as being our inside source guy within Nebraska University. He said, "Inside sources say Matt Rule is not coming to Nebraska." Tim and I immediately started making fun of Vince. We talked shit about him, and we're like, making jokes on him. And in the moment, I realized that's really mean because Vince is like genuinely trying to bring something else to the table, to the podcast. And I was like, okay, the jokes were funny. My jokes were funny. I'll say that in the group chat. But I wanted to pump the brakes because I felt like we were attacking him for contributing more to the podcast than anything else, anything that Tim or I have done. So I said, all right, Vince, thank you for sharing. I'm going to go on air on Sunday and share the news. So
You did say that, but
I didn't say that, but I thought it. And so I did. So last Sunday I said, hey guys, inside sources per Vince was that Matt Rule was out as the Nebraska head coach. And Vince was gone last week, so now Tim and I just look like the biggest doofuses for going back on our joking towards Vince, because I wouldn't have said anything if I didn't feel so bad. So, Vince, you need to apologize to our listeners for leading them to believe for a whole week that Matt Rule was out and that all the things that they heard were false. So, if you could, please.
So,
But you don't have to apologize to Tim and I. We deserve it. But everybody else who listens to this podcast deserves an apology from you for misleading them.
I mean, so did he just like turn down the first offer?
No.
Or
Nope,
what,
nope,
what
nope,
happened?
nope. It was the Carolina Panthers are trying to get in the way because I mean right now, Matt Rule's got it made right now because he's going to be getting paid by the Panthers.
John Tepper gave him like a 8-year contract or something in the NFL.
He's got
massively long.
Yeah,
and we did the same thing.
Well, I can't remember what the
You live and
I
you
think he's
learn,
getting
but
like I
sometimes
think he's
you
getting
just
like a
keep
he's
living.
got like 70 million coming his way from Nebraska. So I mean, dude's got bank right now. Dude has got bank right now.
Look, Nebraska for Nebraska administration, you live and you learn when it comes to giving out fat long contracts. In our case, we're just living. Not a lot of learning. We're just.
I mean, I guess on his side that's
fire in front of the hip until it works.
That's I guess on his side that's probably what it took. I don't know. That's what he probably asked for, and they're like, oh.
Well, so Carolina was
Trev
trying
Albert's impression, Tim.
was
trying to get in the way of Nebraska pulling him, like getting him, and was trying to get like Nebraska to pay for some of his contract.
Yeah.
And and Trev is he's trying to be a very fiscal, responsible AD because I mean where he came out of was in shambles. He
Trying doesn't always pay the bills.
yeah, being the athletic director at UNO.
I tried to pay my rent this month.
Yeah, being the athletic director at UNO, I think University of Nebraska Omaha, I think kind of left him a little scarred because.
He's just an axe man.
Well, not just an axe man, but I mean, it was in financial ruins, and then he had to kind of try and salvage it, and unfortunately, some bad stuff had to happen there. But so I think he was going into it thinking that he had UNO money, but it's like, no, bro, you got UNL money. We're in the much better part of Nebraska right now, so you. Just throw money at the problem. I promise.
The chancellor was like, Trev, he asked for how much? Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
No, that's fine. Yeah, just give.
I mean, it's not
just
all,
say yes.
but
just give him whatever he wants. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
but
not
sir,
all not all that is coming directly from the university. It's coming from other people giving that money to the university.
Still.
Obviously,
Could care less.
Yeah, so
don't care where they get it from.
She was like, oh, this is fun.
So
I can just
so
spend whatever I want for as long as I want.
Right.
Yeah.
So luckily. Also, apparently Auburn also approached Matt Rule as well, and
It looks like they're gonna get Hugh Freeze from Arkansas.
yeah, so which he shot that,
My inside sources.
and he shot that down, which
I mean, I would too.
So he
I
picked
wouldn't want to go to Auburn.
Yeah,
Right.
that seems like a
over
horrible.
Nebraska.
It seems
where
like a
we are
horrible
right now?
situation.
Did you see the Big Ten West is won by Purdue? I would much rather coach in that division.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
so I think this is a great hire. I think we need to
With
establish
all that
that.
being said, with all that being said, Matt Rule has been announced as the official head coach
Officially.
of the Nebraska Cornhusker University football team. You still haven't apologized.
Right.
You lied to the listeners.
Didn't lie. These are what the sources told me, and I was telling what my sources.
And your
told me.
sources were wrong, so you should
They weren't
apologize.
because he was out, and then Trev reeled him back in, baby.
Yeah. No.
so-
The chancellor
The
reeled
chancellor's
Trev
like, well,
to
hey,
reel
yeah.
Rule back in. Okay.
The chancellor reeled Trev back in, and
So,
then Trev reeled him
Going
back.
forward, for all of our listeners' sake, going forward, when we say our sources say, it's day by day. Okay.
But yeah, come on. Our listeners are smart enough to know that football news changes by the hour.
Gust in the wind.
It honestly changes by
Gust
the
in
hour.
wind.
You know.
Except for when professionals report that stuff, it's actual fact.
Please, Ian Rappaport or whatever the fuck his
He's
name
on
is.
fire.
Finally, after he just says some random shit, and you're like, "What are you talking about?" And then it just doesn't have. No.
Well, him and Shefty have both fallen to that.
Shefty's had a rough year.
yeah.
But someday,
Thank you.
Someday we'll
These
be,
are professionals.
Someday we will be as professional as Sir Yacht.
Right. That's what. Man, whatever happened to him? I hope he's okay. Sir Yacht, if you're out there, I hope the best for you,
Get
sir.
his 5 minutes of fame, and then
Dude.
continue being a worthless nobody on Twitter like the rest of us.
Hey, he had more likes and views than we did, so
Mm.
he was doing something right.
He got lucky.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
I'm about it. That's all we need. Sometimes that's all you need, just to get a little lucky.
All right.
So
Is it time to take our takes that are gonna age poorly in 3 years on how Matt Rule is gonna do? I don't know. There's a lot of people
Well,
like.
hold on, we have some breaking news before we head on to Matt Rule. Nebraska beat Iowa.
woo!
We finally took down the corn frauds to the east, and what a great victory!
Gosh,
Did you
we-
even
we-
watch
we
it?
didn't just
Did you
win.
watch it?
Of course I did. We didn't just win. I mean,
I
I watched some of it. I
Bastard.
took a nap for the other half. We didn't just beat Iowa. We whooped.
I mean, yeah,
Iowa.
the score is a little misleading. We were beating the shit out of them.
The first half.
Yeah, the first half. Vince jinxed it. I don't care what you say.
Listen, guys.
How did I jinx it? We won.
doesn't matter.
Tim.
You
guys-
said we're gonna shut them out, and I was like,
I didn't say shut them out.
yes, you did.
I
Via
didn't.
text.
I
It's
said,
in the
"Oh,
text.
We have
It's
the
in the
text
text.
to prove that you said
We're gonna shut out Iowa.
shut them out.
And apparently Tyler was taking a nap, and during that part of it.
But anyways,
That
did you
shows.
guys see also like the Iowa students were trying to? They were basically holding the championship trophy
Hostage.
I
Really?
did, yeah.
and spitting on our players.
It
so
wasn't even the student section. It was like there was like if you saw the video, it was a grown adult man,
great.
a 35, 40-year-old adult Iowa fan holding on to that trophy, trying to keep it from the Nebraska players. Like,
Thank you,
sad.
thank you, Iowa fans, for showing what we Nebraskans know you to be just total pieces of shit.
yeah. So anybody out there in the national landscape of listenership, most people think Iowa's all great because they wave at the Children's Hospital.
Mm.
They're such great people and great fans. Iowa fans are pieces of shit. Okay?
Yeah. Little did
That's
we
like
know
a
all
facade.
those fans that are waving, they're waving goodbye to those kids like total jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And forcing them to watch their shitty offense.
Yeah, Iowa's
week in, week
borderline
out.
like
Most of those kids are like praying for
Iowa
death.
fans are borderline Colorado fans. Not quite. I don't think anybody will ever reach the level of
Yeah,
Colorado
they're
fans.
not quite as violent.
But they're not as violent, but they are just as shitty, I would say.
Just as shitty.
And we've clamored about this since the podcast originated in 2008, February 2018. We've been talking about beating Iowa, and it's finally just now come to fruition.
Feels good.
This
man.
isn't just a big moment for Nebraska. It's a big moment for this podcast. We've had a lot of pent-up aggression and rage towards the state of Iowa for a very long time, and it will continue to fester. But
Yeah.
this is huge for us. We did it, guys. We find us three.
a
We
seven
finally did
a
it.
7-4 Iowa team, and we
Bound for the Big Ten
Here's
championship.
my thing. Look, Iowa thinks that they're hot shit because they beat Iowa or Nebraska for the last 7 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, big whoop! You beat Mike Riley and Scott Frost. You're so good.
yeah, great job.
And
guys.
honestly, we should probably get a thank you letter from Michigan because we probably saved their season because they probably would have won in the Big Ten championship and somehow just laid an egg against
Nah, they
Iowa.
wouldn't. Not against Iowa.
I don't know,
Iowa's
man.
offense is so.
I know they're horrible.
Iowa's offense,
but
is
they
so
tend to do that.
incompetent. There's not a curse on
They-
earth that could allow them to succeed.
I'm just
Iowa's
saying.
offense is the worst display of football I have ever seen
is
in my
atrocious.
entire life at any level. My
But-
Pop Warner team with me at starting wide receiver was better than this Iowa offense.
Yeah, and they're
It's a disgrace to the name of football.
and their elite defense. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah,
that was.
obviously not.
Trey
Obviously not.
Well,
Palmer.
they're elite when they play Fordham University or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're
And they
good
didn't
when
have 7 wins this year, so they were good enough to do that, I guess. But
This is definitely
Th-
the worst we've
this-
seen the Big Ten in a long time, though.
Not
Like,
really.
Big
The
Ten
is
West.
always trash.
yeah, but I'm
Always
just saying,
has
like,
been.
yeah, it just
Michigan and Ohio State are good.
as always.
But anyway, we want to revel in this victory. We finally beat Iowa, and it feels good. Like
Feels so
you,
good.
listen, the greatest coach in Iowa history, in Iowa football history, lost to a interim wide receiver coach.
Who's never had a never had a coaching job.
who's on his first year with
Yeah.
this team.
Yeah, eat it.
Credit to me. I do. With all that being said, I do want to give credit to Mickey Joseph.
Mhm.
He
Yes.
came in a
Hell
a
yeah.
very, very tough and bad situation. He made the most of it. I'm okay with moving on from him as head coach, but I think Mickey Joseph deserves all the respect in the world, and I think he did. He shot above target, I think, with us. If Casey Thompson wasn't hurt for 2 weeks, I mean, he might have had 2 extra wins under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
So Mickey Joseph, I hope he remains on staff as a receiver coach. If he doesn't, I completely get it.
God, I hope I think we need that like link. Though.
Yeah, and
I mean,
tying everything back to Matt Rule, though, I don't. As you want to give your big predictions, Tim, I don't
have any. I'm just saying we're gonna have some. If we have any, they're probably gonna age horribly.
No, I don't. We've been very accurate with the last few things that we've talked about, which we'll get into in a sec.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing for Matt Rule coming to this is who are his coordinators going to be, who's going to be his staff, because Scott Frost, Mike Riley, and all the way back to Bo Pelini, their staffs and their coordinators have been absolutely atrocious. Awful assistants that they've brought in, and it's been the downfall for a few of them. I think it's going to be very key for Matt Rule to bring in a competent coordination staff on both sides of the ball. He did work with, what's his name? Joe Lombardi? Is it Lombardi? He worked with him as the offense coordinator in Carolina, who was the offense coordinator in LSU with Joe Burrow and Mickey Joseph. If we can reconnect that. Somebody fact check me here. I think his name's Joe Lombardi. Look at Matt Rule's first offense coordinator in Carolina or Joe Burrow's offense coordinator in LSU.
Sounds right. I don't know.
If we can bring that connection back here, I think that'd be great for the offense. I'm not familiar with Matt Rule's
system
or his defense.
I guess he's not an offensive coach,
but I don't know who his defensive coaches have been. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting topic of discussion as well. But I think it's going to be very important for him to bring in somebody who can succeed early on.
Yeah.
Because as we saw, Scott Frost assistants were complete and utter dopes. The dumbest. I mean, Eric Chernander has to be the worst defensive coach in the history of football.
Yeah.
And then everybody who Mike Riley brought in Mike Riley was a joke in of himself.
Well, didn't we bring in what's his name from? Who the hell was that crazy guy?
Danny Langsdorff?
No, not that guy. The one. Like his very last year.
Oh, the Bo guy from. I don't remember. Yeah, I was an idiot. He was from Notre Dame. He was the Notre Dame.
Was it Notre Dame or like UConn? I thought he coached like UConn or something like that.
He did, but he was also the defense coordinator at Notre Dame.
Oh,
that's where I was like, yeah, the staffs have been terrible. So,
yeah,
I can't seem to find.
I will find this guy's filibuster for me for a sec, since Vince's research skills are.
Well, I think that. Bill Bush, if he doesn't, I mean, I don't think he'll probably get hired by Matt Rule, but he's probably got a job somewhere else if he doesn't stay on. I mean, it seemed that after Chenander left, that's a whole new defense. Like that.
Joe
that
Brady, not Joe Lombardi. Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator with Matt Rule in Carolina for his first couple of years, and also at LSU under Ed Orgeron and ahead of Joe Burrow. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't think he's probably gonna be around next year, but I think he stepped up, and
if I had to guess,
that really.
If I had to guess, Matt Rule cleans house. Do you have any sources on this?
I don't see why.
Up, but I don't. My sources, and a lot of other people have said that he does tend to burn it down to rebuild. And I mean, if we look at his kind of coaching record, he was at Temple. He went 2-10 his first year. Immediately went 6-6 the next year, and then was 10 wins the next 2 years in a row.
Yeah, Matt Rule's known for reestablishing,
turning programs around. So that first year is gonna look rough, but I think we'll see significant.
We're used to rough.
Yeah,
well,
right.
I just don't see why he wouldn't try to keep Mickey unless he has something better.
Because people like to work with who they know.
Sure, but Mickey knows Nebraska.
I know you're the big.
No. I'm not one of those people that wanted I'll take Matt Rule over Mickey. I know that Mickey's not the immediate answer. But there's a lot of people in the fucking comments that are like, "It's atrocious, Mike Riley 2.0," and I don't think that at all. No, I'm just saying. As far as recruiting, I think Mickey is very good. If Mickey was able to bring Trey Palmer along, and he's able to find guys like that, I think that'd be great.
Tim,
that'd be
I
good
will
to keep
say
around,
he
so.
he is.
I
supposedly-
just hope to God he gets rid of Ron Brown. That's all I care about.
He does. It does look
Ron
like
Brown's on our staff.
He's a
He's
he's a prayer coordinator or something like that. I
Oh,
don't
of
know.
course,
He's-
Tim hates him.
You know,
He's led
He's
some
a
of the best-
fucking no.
He's led
He's
some of the best running backs in Nebraska football.
and he's a
history.
fucking bigot.
You can't say that about a black man.
He's a bigot.
Wow.
racist.
Wow, you're racist, Tim.
You're a bigot now.
Wow. Look
How's that feel?
look at the turntables.
Um.
So Tim, here's
I-
the deal. So imagine if somebody
He's-
let's say I got fired.
Very anti-gay.
Let's say Atomos Physics and the Patreon staff and the Groom Room fired me from being the host of this podcast, and somebody else came in who was a professional podcaster. He'd probably get rid of you guys and bring in his own people, right?
That's fine.
Not after he's listened to our tape.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Mickey Joseph should stay.
Yeah. I will say I don't know if this. Again, I'm not 100% sure. Let me double check.
Well, this is a podcast of 100% assurities.
Okay, this is.
I would say.
He's expected to hire
Except for
Evan,
that whole Daddy Frost thing. You know.
Evan Cooper, who is Baylor's
Everybody's wrong about that,
corners
Tim.
and recruiting coordinator. So I mean, we
Whatever.
had-
Listen, we don't know
I-
nothing. If history has proved us to anything, nobody knows anything. Everybody
Yeah.
thought. I mean, at the time, Scott Frost was a home run hire.
Mhm.
Everybody wanted Scott Frost at that year. So
Well, and to be fair, it looked good.
it did look good.
Everything on paper showed that like this is a good hire, and then it just he kind of had
It
some
all-
rough first years. Then
all
his,
fell apart.
then his dad died, and then the alcoholism I think really took over.
now you're stretching him.
I'm
Okay,
not
so-
stretching anything.
Anyway,
dude.
back
I've
to-
been right about everything that's happened, but when it comes down to like these allegations that you guys want to say, you're like, well, that's probably not true.
Yet there's zero
Everything
zero
has
proof.
been right, Tim.
There's zero.
All right, so
I've
on to the
seen
future.
nobody's been able to produce any proof
On
of
to
this
the
happening.
And you've had no proof that Matt Rule's going to be the coach.
Everybody-
also, except for just me
everybody
saying, hey,
on-
Matt Rule's going to be the coach.
Every-
and then you guys are like,
Everybody at Gate 25 has a fucking cell phone if
Also-
if
hey,
Scott Frost is there
Also,
drinking. I don't know.
this podcast should not be calling anybody an alcoholic or
Exactly.
maybe-
That's
so
like
we'll-
not a way to
I feel
tear
like
anybody down.
we should know we would know.
That's true.
We're literally the pot calling the kettle
we're
black.
closer to the ground.
Yeah, we're
You
literally
understand?
like, oh,
All right,
I've
on
seen
to-
that before.
Okay,
I know what you're doing.
On to Matt Rule.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the hire, Vince?
I love it. I'm so happy, and I will agree. I would love to see Mickey stay, but if he has to go, he has to go. I don't.
But the fact of the matter is, Trev Alberts hired Matt Rule. And
Yeah.
he's gonna
Exactly.
make the decision.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And you know, I want to make sure that Mickey Joseph he gets all the gratitude in the world from me, and
He should have got
And
a
from
fat
Nebraska.
paycheck for being an interim coach.
oh for
Yeah.
sure. I
Leading
hope
a
he
team,
does.
yeah.
Yeah, because you know he just I mean we got to beat Iowa
That's
for
worth
the first time in
that's
7
worth at
years.
least $1 million
Yeah, 7 or 8 years.
Like holy cow,
by
man.
itself.
So
Give him all of Scott Frost bonus for that.
please,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
Is there anybody else you would have rather had?
It's hard to say. There was so many names thrown around. I can't kind of keep up, but
Okay. Tim, how do you feel about Matt Rule?
Very good. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Well, there was nobody else on the list that except for, and I don't know about Leipold, the Kansas guy.
Yeah, we're all
How I
we're
feel
all
about
watching
that one,
on
like,
here.
I mean,
all the Nebraska fans
well,
who were clamoring for him.
he
were
did
like,
he
eh.
did bring him up to 6 wins from like 0 or 1 from last couple years. So I mean, that's a pretty good start. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited, but I think hopefully we don't get that frickin' itch after 2 years. If it's
We will.
oh yeah,
Have
we
you ever
will.
been to Nebraska?
I know. I hope we give him at least that 4 years, half of his contract before.
like I said, if
God.
if history proves correct, the other two programs, Temple and Baylor,
Yeah,
both were trash programs. He burnt to the ground, started
No,
rebuilding.
they were already burnt to the ground.
Yeah,
just
that-
like us.
that-
But I'm
they're-
just saying, like, he cleaned house.
we did, yeah. But
He
when he
cleaned
took
house.
over, they were 1-2 win teams.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
we're not quite burnt to the ground. We're just like heavily smoldering. I mean, you know.
He's kind of so. He reminds me of Matt Rule's trajectory was kind of like Bill O'Brien. Like, so Bill O'Brien took over Penn State after the Jerry Sandusky debacle
yeah.
and kind of rebuilt them back up into a contending team.
mhm.
Matt Rule did that with after what was it, Art Briles or whatever his name is
Yeah.
at
Sure.
Baylor. All the
Mhm.
sexual
Oh, yeah.
scandals, everything that Baylor pretty much went through their own low profile version of Jerry Sandusky.
Yeah.
And Matt Rule came in and took them from after their suspensions to nothing to being a competent team. So
Right. And I'm just saying it wasn't a slow turnaround either for both Temple
it
and
took a couple
Baylor.
years.
But I'm saying is that the first year bad,
Yeah.
and then his second year he went
Mediocre,
500.
Mediocre,
He went
yep,
500,
yep.
and I would love to go 500 on a season. That'd be great.
We're
That'd be
going-
awesome.
Going places.
Yeah, that would be upward trajectory from where we've been for the last 4 years.
Hey,
So
We were the best 3-9 team of all time last year. This time we're the best, or the most okayest 4-8 team.
But
the
yeah,
most
so-
okayest.
I'm excited.
So my
I'm
opinions
ready
as
for
being
next year to
a
happen already.
predominantly NFL fan, as I'm a big NFL proponent, Carolina Panthers, all their fans hate Matt Rule. He was terrible. They hated him. But
That's
I'm
fine.
the first person to tell you that there is a black and white, a complete 180 difference between coaching in the NFL and coaching in college football. I think
Yeah.
Matt Rule's resume at the collegiate level, a little bit small.
Mhm.
Small.
It's a little
But
bit small,
solid.
but he does have results. I'm going to give Matt Rule a chance. I'm different from you guys in the fact that I don't care either which way. I've already been broken and beaten as a Nebraska fan, so if he sucks, whatever. This is my life now. Doesn't
Right.
matter. If he turns out to be good, great. I can grab on the bandwagon at the very last second and come back up into passion, being a passionate fan. So yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I wish the guy the best. I think he can do it. Time will tell, though.
You spent too much time in Washington. It's made you soft.
Sure. But
Those West Coast hippies really just ruined you.
they did. But then again, so did Mike Riley, who's
Another
al-
West
who's
Coast
also
hippie.
West Coast hippie. So yeah, that's the state of Nebraska football. We finished the season, I think, on the highest note that we possibly could.
Yeah.
And yeah, Michigan beat Ohio State, so Michigan is the front runner. They
Whooped him too, and you called it. You said it there.
we are guys. Our takes are on fire.
Yeah. So shut up to him about our takes not aging well.
It's
I
been a
mean,
few
I-
days.
Because, yeah, we talked about this which we'll get into here very momentarily on Friday. I said Michigan's definitely going to win. Everybody called me crazy. Look what happened. I was correct
That's it.
with the Matt Rule hire back in October. I did share that on the social media
You did.
page.
You did.
The minute he was fired, I said, there it is. Called it. Have Twitter evidence. We were right there. We have a podcast episode that nobody can for some reason find, but it does exist. I said Russell Wilson's coming to the to the Broncos, which Vince hates me for, but it did happen. So guys, we are on a roll.
Yeah.
I should probably be posting these things more often to get a little bit more credibility.
But we know you're just not gonna.
I won't. Do it. Well, I've thought about this too. So I've thought about maybe marketing podcasts a little bit better and trying to and we're in a bad situation because
All your credit cards are maxed out.
for one, my credit cards are maxed out. I can't afford all the
Yeah.
new equipment and computers that I would like to have. Two, when we first started this, it was under the umbrella of Garage Sports Company, so a lot of people came into this podcast wanting to hear some fun sports takes, and then it ended up being a 30-minute rant of
Star Wars.
and God knows what. That ends on
Warhammer.
some sexual tangent that nobody can.
It was League of Legends back then. Tim.
League of
So
Relax.
that nobody can. So yeah.
um,
So we have this thing where like
Warhammer's new.
people want to listen to this for sports takes and get nothing close to it, and then there's people who come in for
God knows why. I
God
don't
knows
know.
why, and then they get this. We're on a 30-minute spiel of Nebraska football.
which we haven't talked about all
It's
year.
hard to
Yeah. Because of you.
We have failed
Yeah.
miserably at marketing, so
Yeah.
we can talk off screen. Maybe we can reel it in either which way.
Are we gonna rebrand again?
Nah, we're gonna keep doing what we do.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, are we gonna like? We went from being a Garage Sports
We could
Co.
try.
Now it's gonna be Garage Sports Podcast. What's it gonna be next?
It's garage.
Garage.
Dude, you can't even get the name right.
You're right.
Oh God.
Because it keeps changing. It
I
just keeps
changed one.
changing.
Garage
Change
Sports Talk Co.
Also, this podcast has been the same name for its entirety since it existed. So there's that. Side tangent. You listeners tell us what you want, and
We'll do anything.
We probably won't give it to you, but just tell us, and we'll pretend to try.
Tyler, me
I-
and
I
Tim
will
will
pretend to try.
try.
They will, and I'll probably shut it down somehow
Yeah.
or some way. Soccer.
Oh.
Soccer.
Oh.
Soccer.
yeah, sure.
We
That's right. It's called soccer now. There's no more football, baby. Okay, it's soccer.
I'm so
When
burnt
you
out.
when you
I'm
beat
so
the
burnt out of those
when you
commercials.
beat the U.S., you can call it football. Until you
Never.
you beat the U.S., it's soccer, baby.
England has never beaten the United States in a World Cup game.
You're goddamn
ever.
right.
Yep.
So it's been a crazy week, absolute crazy week. I mean, what was last? Did the World Cup even exist last week? I don't even know
Yeah.
where we are on it.
Yeah, it started last Sunday. It's a week old.
It's been a long week. It's only been a week.
Dude, it's crazy.
My emotions have been through the furnace and back.
Yeah.
It's only been a week. So last week
Yeah.
when Tim and I opened up the podcast watching about the Qatar game, my emotions have been roller coastering. I mean, I'm watching every game. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. Like even when I'm not at work, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. for the games. It's been absolutely incredible. USA came out against Wales, and we were a dominant team, and we gave up a stupid PK, ended up tying the first game. Felt like a loss because we were just so much better than Wales.
Yeah.
That really sucked. We came into the England game. I think the three of us were very, a lot more optimistic than I would say most fans were. But we
Yeah.
see England for who England was,
Mm-hmm.
and we dominated that game. I feel
We
like
did.
so we.
I thought there was going to be a lot more scoring. My score
God,
prediction
so
was way off.
Close.
But
we had it. So
That is the most exciting tie I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was,
I,
right?
I'm
It was.
I'm into it,
You're
but I
getting
still
there.
I
You're
still
getting
hate
there.
it. I still hate that there's no fucking that there should have to be a winner.
It will be here in a week.
Yeah,
I know,
every
but I
single
just
week.
say
So,
I don't like that
Vince,
first part.
Did
of
you see my
soccer
retweet
things.
of Mark Schlereth, the former offensive Super Bowl winning
Oh,
lineman
yeah.
for the Broncos? He said
I think I
the
did.
USA played England to a 0-0 draw. Felt like watching a Broncos game, except with a lot more offensive excitement. That was great. So Tim, Vince, and we all went to Captain Jack's, the first chapter of the American Outlaws,
number one.
number one chapter of
Mhm.
the American Outlaws fan club, I guess you call them.
Hooligans.
Hooligans club, whatever you call
Yeah.
them. It was great. I showed up an hour and 10 minutes early. Place was pretty much already full. I
Yeah.
just stood by the door. Tim and Vince showed up a little bit later, so we grabbed some beers and stood near the doorway and watched the game. And it was so exciting. Shout out to them and all the other
Mhm.
Lincoln soccer fans. But
Yeah.
being a part of a group of people who care as passionately as we do about the skill of 11 young boys kicking a ball around, it was so much fun. Yeah, the USA tied England.
Those weren't young boys. Those were men out
Those
there.
are men. Those are 20
And women.
Men.
Yeah.
And women.
What women?
What women were on the field?
Oh, I thought you were talking about in the bar.
No,
Okay.
we were talking about the players on
there's
the
men-
field.
Okay.
Yes, there were women who cared about it as much as we did.
Okay.
But yeah, so United States played England to a 0-0 draw, which was actually a very exciting game. And I think, despite what possession would tell you,
Mhm.
I thought we were the dominant team.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you look at the possession stats, England's possession was high, but that possession mainly consisted of John Stones and Harry Maguire passing it back and forth to each other in their own third.
Yeah, I was
And-
about to say it was like in
and
their
they're-
own third of the.
And their sissy kicks that got saved every single time. Like they're just like
What are you talking about?
He's talking about England's system.
England
All their
was
scoring
not
attempts?
the
England
scoring
was
attempts.
six.
It was
Yeah.
it was just like
soft.
eh.
Yeah, they're trash.
Yeah, so yeah, it was.
Our goalkeeper great, but
Matt
those
Turner.
were
Matt Turner?
those.
Matt
Should've
Turner's an
been man of the
American
match.
hero.
He should have been man of the match.
Tyler Adams had a great game though.
He did have a great game. I would say Matt Turner had a better game.
Yeah, and now it's simple. And now it's so simple for the United States. Beat Iran and you're in. And I think I think it's fair to say if we can't beat Iran, maybe we don't deserve to be in the round of 16. So our tournament starts now. It's a win or loss. There's no ties. There's no whatever happens with the other teams in the group. We win and we're in, or we lose and we go home. It's simple as that. So I think that kind of mentality. I think our team will really embrace that, and I'm expecting a big win. Obviously, our team doesn't have a history of scoring a lot of goals, though, within the last year and a half, 2 years. So I'm really hoping for the best, but I think we can beat Iran. They're going to park the bus, but I think.
Do you think? Because obviously Greg really likes this 4-4-2 or whatever,
4-3-3,
4-3-3, and do you think that we'll finally kind of start seeing maybe a little bit different? Because he's just stuck to it. Like, it just seems like he just sticks to it every game. Do you think we'll get maybe a more kind of aggressive looking formation out there?
No, because I think it's going to stay a 4-3-3, but we are going to be more aggressive in the sense that Antonio Robinson on the left side and Sergino Dest, our two outside backs, are going to be pressing very high. So our defense is going to look like Walker Zimmerman and Tim Ream at the back, and then it's pretty much going to be like a 2-4. Do the math for me real quick. 2-5-3, pretty much. I think that's what it's going to look like. We're going to be pressing heavily. It's going to be dependent on his personnel. He hasn't played Jesus Ferreira yet at the number 9 striker spot. I don't think this is the game to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Way he's been rotating forwards, it could be. I think Josh Sargent should get the start. He's big and he's physical right in the middle, and that's what we need to distribute outside. I think a lot of American fans have been very vocal and very upset about the lack of Gio Reyna playing, and I sympathize with them, but I don't agree because I think Tim Weah has been absolutely incredible on the right side for the USA, and I don't know who bring Gio Reyna in for, but I think you have to start Gio Reyna this game because I think his creative use with the ball and the way he dribbles and makes things happen, I think he needs to be in the game early against Iran team who's going to be sitting back. So maybe, and I don't know who you sub him in for. I really don't, because I think our center threes are perfect the way they are with Tyler Adams, with Weston McKennie, and Yunus Musa. I think those three are solid there.
Yeah.
And you can't put in Gio Reyna for either Tim Weah or Christian Pulisic right now, because I think they're both doing great as well.
They're doing great. Pulisic does need to. He needs to be more of a force up there, though, because I feel like in England, again, solid. He was solid. He was able to hold possession, distribute the ball well. A lot of his corners and his passes into the box were.
His distribution has not been very good, I don't think.
I want to see him shoot more. I want to see him try and dribble and create some space and shoot.
He had one off the woodwork.
Yeah, right,
England.
exactly. Yeah. So I want to see more. I want to see more shots from Pulisic. You know, I want him to be more of a force up front.
Okay, so here's my idea, and I just came up with this just now.
Okay.
Maybe we switch and do a 3-5-3. No, sorry, it would be a 3-4-3. 3-4-3, with our back line being Tim Ream, Walker Zimmerman, and you could put another center back. Maybe you could slide an outside back, Antonio Robinson or Dest there. But I think you put Gio Reyna in either for Dest or for Antonio Robinson, and have him a part of the attack.
I'm down.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Right. It's not going to happen.
It won't happen. Greg Matter won't do it. But listen, Tuesday's a huge game. Just win and you're in. And we have the talent. We have the capability of doing it. I'm excited. Let's go.
Me too.
I hate Iran.
It's kind of problematic right now, man. It's hard to.
I'm saying it.
I'm down for. I'm with it. I'm with you.
I don't pay attention.
Fuck you, Iran.
I don't pay attention to anything else that goes on in the
Fuck
world.
you, Iran.
As far as soccer goes,
Well,
Iran's
it's not
public enemy
problematic. Everybody hates
Problematic.
the government of Iran. Is there's
I hate
a
the
lot
country.
of a lot of people.
I hate the government. I hate the country. I hate the women. It doesn't matter.
Children, men.
A lot of people are
too
standing with the women of Iran right now, but yeah.
I stand with the 11 men who play for the United States America soccer team.
Fair enough.
So, but it was great drawing England. We definitely were the better team, and it was so good. It was very unfortunate.
And I think we saw that too. Like, yeah, England had the possession, but if you look at the shots,
imagine being England and having Yunus Musa right there in your backyard to say, "Hey, come play with us," and they're like, "We have Jude Bellingham and we have 55-year-old Jordan Henderson." So he's like, "All right, I'll go to America," and then they're like, "Oh, Now we see what
Whoops.
Yunus Musa could do at
Yeah.
the ripe age of 19.
Dude, he was so stellar too.
And they're like, well, maybe we shouldn't just keep giving Jordan Henderson looks and that other ugly guy out on the field. You know?
I hope all those kids with the dual citizenship out there living in European countries or all over the world are seeing America start to build something up here. I hope that they
We give chances to young players.
yes.
We have great leadership within the locker room. And if we beat
So
Iran,
hopefully,
we're on
tell
our
whatever
way.
country you're living in, go fuck themselves. We're coming back to America, baby.
So going back to when we were at Captain Jack's bar, it was so much fun being with you guys and being with everybody else. But there was an older couple in front of us.
They loved us.
They hated.
Oh.
No,
way,
way,
dude.
dude.
They
Every
left-
time they would turn
what?
around, they'd
Thank-
have a big grin on their face.
They were looking at
They
each other
finally
laughing
left.
too.
They finally
finally
left.
But every
yeah.
time because Vince is just
Very
Vince,
loud.
You would just
You're
say
very
whatever,
loud.
just as ridiculous and as loud as you could, and they would like look at each other like, "Oh my gosh," they hated us.
No, they loved me. They told me before they left. You guys must have been pissing or something.
But yeah, World Cup has been amazing so far. Just
Yeah.
all the ups. I mean, seeing so
Can
many
we-
different upsets. Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia. There were no other upsets outside of that. It was just crazy.
No, we gotta talk about it, baby. We gotta talk about it.
Germany losing to Japan.
Japan, baby.
The
Hey,
Deutschland.
first of all, let's have some respect for Japan. Japan
Dude.
took Belgium to the wire in the 2018 World Cup
Yeah.
in the round of 16, I believe it was. So
Not enough.
Japan has weapons and they play well.
Not enough eyes on Japan, man. They're also an up and
They
coming
also
team,
lost
I
to
think.
Costa Rica. They won.
Did they actually?
They
Oh,
lost
no.
1-0 to
The
Costa
fire,
Rica.
the fire burnt out too
Yep,
soon.
Yep.
Well,
but
you know what, Japan? I'm still with you. You beat Germany. Fuck those guys.
All hail the land of the rising sun.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
the most important victory that came from this week, Belgium lost today to Morocco.
Morocco. I love Morocco, dude.
And
Have I ever
so-
said how much I love Morocco?
I'm pretty sure we've said on this
I've said
podcast
it
we're
every
big
day,
Morocco
yeah.
fans. Their first World Cup win since 1998. Excuse me.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Huge
well
win.
done. Well done, Morocco.
And this is coming on from their group. Morocco. So Belgium had beat Canada
Yep.
the other day, and Morocco had tied Croatia.
Ooh.
Maybe they lost 1-0.
I'll double check for
Double check for me. So that's kind of what we're coming into this with, and Belgium obviously being so Belgium suffers from what I call the FIFA video game syndrome. On the FIFA video game, all the players on Belgium are rated through the roof for whatever reason. So people who claim to be soccer fans, people who spend time on our soccer on Reddit,
Mhm.
they know all their information from playing FIFA. So they
Yeah.
think Belgium is just the fucking gods of soccer.
They
And-
tied Croatia.
Yeah, so
Pro-
Morocco
So
tied Croatia.
they're rated highly on FIFA because somebody in Belgium gave FIFA some money.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And that's why they're also that's why in FIFA's rankings they're second in the world, the second best team in the world. EVO having 11 players over the age of 30. Give
Yeah.
me a break. So they beat Canada by 1 point. Canada, I would argue, was possibly even the better team in that game. They struggled after Belgium got the goal. But Morocco tied with Croatia, which Croatia is a good team. And then Morocco came in today against Belgium, beat them 2-0. Could have been 3-0, but they had the offsides call. It was so wonderful, so magical to see. Their offsides call, too, which I think VAR is starting to get on my nerves because they have this VAR technology for offsides. The Moroccan offender, his ear. I'm not exaggerating. His ear was offsides.
That's offsides.
I know. It bothers me.
You
It bothers
kidding
I know
me?
What you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It wasn't. The
Not
line,
like his
the
foot?
line was like right here, Tim, like kind of like in the middle of his eye. So
That's
like
unfortunate.
the side of
But
his
where was
head
his
and
foot?
ear. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's
You
your
Really?
can score with your head. So if your head's offside,
Yeah.
So virtually his ear was offside, so they had to call it back. And I was like, but it was so nice seeing Belgium lose and just watching all their dumb Belgium faces crying. It was so magical. It was the best way I could start my morning today. Honestly, I was so happy. And then
Love it.
Canada was the second team eliminated from the World Cup, right behind
Ooh.
Qatar, which
Oof.
is too bad because they have some. David's really
Yeah.
good. Alfonso Davies is an absolute stud. Too bad for them.
Yeah.
I was hoping they could pull. I was hoping they could win so they could force a situation where Belgium would be eliminated.
Right. That would have been awesome.
But Canada lost.
that was
4-1.
wishful thinking, though. But
Canada lost 4-1 to Croatia,
oof.
and
Hey,
Also, it would've been
reigning,
really cool.
reigning runner-ups, Croatia. I mean, they're no
That's true.
slouches.
Yeah,
They're
Croatia's
no,
a great,
no,
good team. They're
Yeah.
no
older. They're
slouches.
older, like Belgium is, but I don't mind Croatia at all. So
There's I don't know. They were who I was rooting for last time around.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like Croatia.
The
I have
underdogs.
absolutely nothing against Croatia.
Yeah.
I thought it would kind of cool to see the big North American countries make it into the
Yeah,
round
Mexico's
of 16.
about to
That'd
be
be cool.
eliminated too.
Yeah, I know. It's
It-
like
we're
now
actually-
it's like the U.S. has to hold it down. you know?
We're actually in a situation where all CONCACAF teams could be out before the round of 16. Costa Rica's obviously not doing shit.
Yeah.
Mexico is on the verge of losing. They got whooped by Argentina, which
Yeah.
I wasn't too upset to see.
I'm not
Yeah.
upset either.
Did you see they started Quadrado?
Did they actually?
75-year-old Quadrado in the midfield. They had to
Did
sub
he,
him out.
I was about
They
to
had
say.
to sub him out at the 40th minute because he hurt his
in
thigh.
the first half. Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah, pulled
that
a-
was in
My hip.
So Argentina are back after losing to Saudi Arabia. It's been an exciting tournament.
This has been a good one.
It's
too.
been I think
And now that we have like some stake, I know you always have stake in it, but like for me, like now it feels like every game matters. Like even though it's group stages and stuff.
and I think the parity is fairly close. We've seen some upsets. We've
Yeah.
seen some like big wins, obviously with the Croatia game that we just talked about. But I definitely think the parity is really well now. I think soccer's grown globally enough that a lot of different countries can play competitively. Not that I'm advocating for them to expand it, which they already are. I wish they would leave it here because this tournament has been great so far.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to leave it as is. Just move it to a country that supports beer and
Yeah.
human rights.
America.
Outside of the whole Qatar thing, this
Sometimes.
tournament has been amazing so far in the first week, and I'm very
ready
excited.
for more. We
Hey,
still got so much left.
We're finishing this week in group stages, and I'm excited to see what happens. I'm already calling in work sick. We're already getting ready for it.
It's a good thing nobody listens to the podcast.
No,
right?
I straight up told we told my boss.
Oh,
on,
that's fine.
So on Friday when the U.S. was playing, me and another guy it was kind of the end of our shift. I usually at work I usually stay later to work out. So he was leaving, and then my boss was like, "Oh, are you staying and helping out?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna say like you normally do it." Then my kind of messed up for my other buddy who works with me, but he's like, "Oh no, the soccer game's on," and I was like, "Yeah," and then I left. So
Suck it.
it is what it is. I put in my time. Okay,
I'm
I
about it.
deserve
I'm about
Yeah.
it.
at a reasonable time.
I have
Right.
to say,
What are they gonna
'cause,
do?
some news for our listeners. I'm now unemployed, which
Send
is
them patreon.com/garage talk.
please, because I mean this is not my final form. There is still an unemployed homeless Vince that has.
Can
not
you
been-
stand up so we can see your pajama pants that you're wearing right now? Vince walked in
my Cabela's
as a complete unemployed.
Oh yeah, man. Dude,
no. Did you quit or did they fire you?
I don't
you should,
know.
You should have let.
They
the-
definitely-
It's
yeah,
a mutual,
I quit.
They mutually parted
you
ways.
should
No,
have.
I
You should
definitely
have let
quit.
them fire you. That way you could collect their employment.
I mean, I didn't say I quit. I didn't say that. Those words were not said.
Didn't he ask you if you were going to quit and you said yeah?
Nope.
Oh.
No.
Ooh. So you.
He said so for one,
The laundry basket spilled. We're just
Yeah. I went.
It might.
I'm in Ohio.
family vacation for Thanksgiving.
Family vacation for
They
Thanksgiving.
knew about.
I told them months ago.
Yep.
I never brought it up again though. I told them that I was gonna go because I had
That's fair.
tickets and they
You
never.
gave him plenty of notice.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And they told me no, but I said, well, that's too bad because I have plane tickets. So, anyways, so I'm in Ohio. We're at the United States National Air Force Museum, which in oh god,
Cincinnati,
no.
Columbia.
Columbus,
Nope.
Columbus. Cleveland.
Anyways,
Yeah, Cleveland.
Doesn't matter. Continue on.
The
yeah.
three
which is
towns
awesome, by
that
the
we
way.
know.
If you ever are going through Ohio, stop there.
Great
It's-
week to visit the United States Air Force.
right? Why?
It's a World Cup.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. They have a base in Qatar.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a base like in almost every
Everywhere.
country in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, sure.
Sorry.
So I'm walking through. I love museums, and I'm the guy that's like reading everything as I'm going along. So my stepfather and my step granddad is I don't know.
Yeah.
Like bless their hearts because they're just sitting on a bench waiting for me for however long it took me. But finally, Cisco calls. And I answered, they're like, are you dead? Or like, where are you? And I was like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm in Ohio. They're like, oh, well, did you tell anybody? Like, why are you in Ohio? And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm on vacation for Thanksgiving. Did you tell anybody? Yeah. Well, when did you tell somebody? I was like, months ago. They're like, oh, okay, well, you probably
That was
should.
too much notice.
Yeah, you probably should say something that. Are you planning on coming back?
Someday, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. They're like, okay, well, just bring your badge in and stuff. And then they started texting me like, so why'd you leave? Like, why'd you want to? I was like, are you serious right now? And then when I told, the best part
Wait,
is like,
they want an exit interview?
kind of, yeah. And then when I told them why I left, they're like, yeah, well, we're facing some real hard,
You might not be fired yet. They're kind of hoping like maybe you'll change
You'll
your
just
mind.
come back.
Actually,
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
they probably haven't fired you yet. So I'd wait them out. I mean, I wouldn't like officially resign. Or
So they
anything,
said
I
they were
guess,
going
but-
through some hard times.
yeah, they're like, oh, we can't really meet those expectations because we don't have enough drivers. And I was like, well, I mean, those guys at corporate, they don't need their country club memberships every year. So
Did you actually text that?
no, but I'm just saying, I was like, what I said, I literally texted because he's like, well, we're blah, 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 and I just texted back, lol, okay, like,
Oh, well,
yeah, like, it's like,
Well,
what's the why would you ask?
So you're kind of
Okay.
in limbo right now. Like, so hopefully maybe you get a termination letter. That way you can just start collecting unemployment, and that'd be great.
I'll probably be hired by next. I'll probably have a new job by next week.
Yeah, I know, but
this has been- this has
if
been-
not, I'm just saying, like,
But the reason why I bring it up though is because like I get it.
For the lady listeners who we've said that Vince is single, he's now unemployed, so
I'm looking for some sugar mamas.
you can look after your kids
he's a
too
prime-
now.
He's a prime suspect here.
I'm kidding.
But anyways, no. The,
Well,
the reason why I bring it up is
if you
because
start shooting for gilfs, you're gonna have that every now and then.
dude, hey, the lady at Watering Hole, she was feeling it.
Continue on, please.
Yeah.
She was feeling it.
Continue on, please.
I don't know. Are you guys gonna keep interrupting me?
No, Tim interrupted you.
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, I bring it up is because now I get it. Like I've worked since I was 18 years old. I've just worked every day of my life since then, and now I've actually just not worked, not had anything to worry about.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Holy cow, dude! Why would anybody want to go back?
You did,
Why would I ever want to do a job again?
God, I almost wish you next time if you're still unemployed, please show up with a White Russian in one hand, your Wayfarers, and
Dude, I might.
wearing a bathrobe.
I for one, I love White Russians. I do have a bathrobe. All I need, I can't.
Our eyes.
Yeah.
I can't find the jellies though. I can never find those. They're never.
Yeah,
they're nowhere.
they're
They're
pretty
only
hard
in, like
to find.
fucking baby sizes.
Yeah.
I don't know where they found those for that movie, but
Yeah.
because I tried to dress up as
To be the dude.
the dude at,
Yeah.
and then
I would think somewhere on the internet would have men's sized jellies.
I'm sure.
yeah,
yeah.
but
Vince- Isn't the best at researching.
fuck
Yeah.
you. But anyways, yeah, that holiday or that Halloween idea turned into, instead of being the dude, I ended up being Ron Swanson after getting back with Tammy 2. My friend's sister gave me cornrows, and
awesome.
it was awesome.
Hmm.
I was hammered.
Why did we not see pictures of this?
I think I have a
Snapchat.
Snapchat saved.
Please,
it's
I
a-
can't
but
believe
it's a
I can't
video.
believe you even shared this with us yet. It's
But
been
it's
a
a
whole
video.
month since Halloween.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah,
Oh.
I haven't done anything for Halloween and haven't even kept count. But
Gotcha. Well, congratulations on your unemployment.
it's great, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you need food or laundry, Robin's always available.
Dude, I was like, oh man, I'll have so much time now. Like I can get the house in order. Fuck that, dude. I just been playing Ragnarok, and all week my buddy's been wanting to play COD. So I'm like, yeah, I'll hop on COD. I got nothing going on.
Sure, I'll play. Never played it before.
I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning last night, dude. I was up till 3
Who
o'clock.
are you?
Oh my word, dude.
Just start flippantly saying the bad F word online now.
I
Never stopped.
Dude, hey, this is the Modern Warfare 2 remake, okay? So I went back to my favorite.
Modern Warfare 2 came out when we 2009.
Yeah. So I was like, these kids were yelling at me. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Your
I'm gonna-
brain switches back to 10th grade.
I told her,
Vince
I was
or
like,
11th
I'm gonna
grade
do it.
Vince or whatever.
I'm gonna say the N-word. that was our back when we did League of Legends. That was our favorite thing to do back then too. Was in all chat. So they don't have voice. Like you can't talk to your other. You have to type it out. And in all chat, if you want to talk to both the enemy team and your team. And so every time we would start the game, and we would just type in N. And another friend would type in I. And we would never get it
Vince,
finished.
you're gonna get canceled, man. Can't do that.
God.
It was young, dumb Vince. Listen.
Except for now, you're doing it again on Modern Warfare's old unemployed Vince.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that would be reawakened in me, but
Nice. Well, hey, I just want you to know, I would play Call of Duty with you if you just ask.
oh yeah, they have crossover.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had Call of Duty. I thought you were still playing Mass Effect.
I
so.
don't play it, but I have it. Because sometimes, like, I've.
Well, you're gonna have to get Discord then.
friends from back home, or like if my brother wants to play
You're gonna have to get Discord then.
on the PlayStation. I could.
I don't know if it's on PlayStation.
It is available. I could.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have
So
to.
if you want to play, just let me know.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
tonight,
you
like-
can come into our server. We have a good one.
Like
we have
tonight,
a good
I
server.
don't work tomorrow.
Do you want to play Call of Duty tonight,
I'm
dude?
down to play Call. Tim, you want to play Call of
Holy
Duty?
shit!
I don't.
Tim's like,
Last time I had, I think I
I'm
still.
not good.
I think
I'm
I.
not gonna approve-
I think
none
I,
of us
I
are.
think I still have a disc from the 360, and
He sells discs.
that's Black Ops 2. I think is the only one I have. So
I will say this though, because like a couple of my friends, I mean, they have PCs and they're playing Call of Duty with the controllers and stuff, and I'm like, and I was just joking, be like,
cheating.
yeah, I was like, no, I was like, ha. It's like, why would you guys ever play with a controller? You guys are trash. And then they actually switch, and they've gotten a lot better. They've gotten so much better. The aiming with sniper rifles on a mouse and keyboard, just days like
yeah.
so much better.
Well, cool. I'm down to play some Call of
Let's
Duty
go.
this weekend.
Okay, cool. If you do you have a Discord?
I have our podcast Discord.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, cool.
We'll
I'll,
figure it out later.
yeah,
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
All right, do we have anything else we're gonna talk about before we go? Rams about to lose to the Chiefs. Broncos.
Hey,
still
it's only
suck.
10-3.
Titans lost.
Carson Wentz has more
It's only
touchdowns than
10-3.
Russell Wilson does, and he hasn't played
since week 6.
since week 6, dude. Can I get some? I'm done being validated now. Can we please move on? I'm in football.
We were wrong about Geno though, although he's not having a great
We
game.
were very wrong about it. We've had some very 100% accurate takes on this podcast. We were wrong about Geno. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to the guy.
They're wow. Oh,
All credit to Pete Carroll.
it's
though.
still the first half, but it is they are losing by 1 point right
Doesn't matter. Geno's
Yes.
already performed way above par.
now. That is true. Yeah.
Titans lost to the Bengals today. I didn't watch any of it because I was watching soccer.
Really?
Well, I
Wow.
tuned back
What?
in. I tuned back. Well, my phone was glitching out. Except, so here's the thing. So I'm watching soccer, right? And as like a very passionate fan of the USA and of Germany, when you're in that mode, everything matters. Everything in the game matters. Every missed pass, every turnover, everything that's happening in the game
but-
is elevated to like anxiety. Like, oh,
and there's
shit,
and
like,
there's
oh,
no
yes,
commercial
like-
break, so it's not like you can
like
just
the
switch over.
emotions are so I was watching this and it would go out for a throw and I'd walk over to my phone where I watching the football game at. It would be incomplete and I would go, oh, you fucking kidding me. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. Football's a long game. There's a lot of pauses. It's not, and I'd go back to the soccer game and I'm getting into it again. I'd turn back to the football game and there would be a second down 1 yard run. And I would just the rage inside me would start building. And I was like, I can't do this. These two things have to be separated because you have to be a very patient fan as a football fan because the game is a lot longer.
It's dragged
you,
out.
You fail a little bit. You punt it sometimes. You play
It's
the
a
field-
chess
the-
game
yeah,
for
it's-
sure.
soccer is a chess game as well. But there any mistake.
I would think you would have to be more patient with soccer.
No, because it's soccer because it's a chess
for
game.
me.
But any mistake
Mhm.
can lead to you losing.
Yeah.
A failed third down conversion
scores- yeah.
isn't going to immediately cause a score for the other
Mhm.
team. It can in football, but it doesn't. There's a lot
Yeah.
more opportunities to score. Soccer is such a fragile game that if you make one mistake, that-
Scores in soccer mean so much more than they do in
exactly. So and then
most
so
other sports.
so trying to balance both fandoms at one time, I could have had a heart
You could have
attack.
died,
So
yeah.
I had to turn the football game off. We'll go to it later. I tuned back in the last couple minutes. We ended up losing, but it's. I had to level myself.
All three of our teams are gonna lose this week, huh?
First time. We are recording. Yeah, heavily. Are you
Maybe it's your
vaping?
computer. I haven't even touched the vape.
The computer's on fire. So sorry, since we're rudely interrupted by the wife of the podcast.
The podcast wife.
The podcast wife. Is dinner ready yet?
No.
That's not funny, even as a persona.
I think it's funny. I thought it was fun. I'm kind of hungry. So, yeah, going back from fandoms is just it was too much because soccer is the goals are so sacred and so valuable that it changes everything.
Well, lot more World Cup left, man.
There's a lot of World Cup left.
Yeah,
So
I'm
excited.
done.
USA just has to win on Tuesday. If you were listening to this podcast, tune in at 1 o'clock at Fox on Tuesday. We need this whole country there ready to
It should
go.
be a holiday,
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm virtually going to be calling in sick.
Me too.
I'll come. You want to come over?
Hell yeah, dude. Let's
I'm
go.
really. It sucks because I have to pick up my kid up from school at like 3. So it's like
So I'll hold
if,
down the
if we're in,
fort.
if we're in stoppage time, it's like you're gonna be standing outside on your alone, kid.
I mean, you can call them.
just take.
Hey.
I'll be there in a second.
I'm on my way. I'll be right there. Haven't left the house. Okay, come on.
I mean, I'm just across the street. Have a TA to just walk him over.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Good episode, guys.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Husker football, and we didn't get yelled at, dude.
It's an important topic. Always was. Love you guys. See you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.